Hi everyone, this is Seah. Once again, thanks for joining me. Today's video is about me making filtered coffee, and we're going to try to make filtered coffee with our Yunnan Red Wine series. And Yunnan Red Wine series coffee, we roasted it towards the light to medium, and it's actually our best seller for all the coffee that we roasted. So and today I'm going to introduce the slightly older version of the filtered coffee setup produced by MHW-3BOMBER, which is actually manufacturers of all these high quality equipment from China, right? As you have realized by now, we actually introduced quite a lot of product from China. I'm particularly like these particular manufacturers because their products are really super high quality, and I like the way they supported me as a dealer in Singapore, and the communication between our company and the MHW-3BOMBER is quite good, and so we will continue to showcase more of their product. But of course, let's see how this product actually works, and then is it worth getting, and maybe you will be the best person to decide whether this is actually suitable for you, right? So we will not try to force anything or do any sales promotion here. This is just to showcase the product that we have, and if you're interested, you can always drop us an email or WhatsApp me. I'll put my WhatsApp link at the bottom. If you're in Singapore, right, of course you can look for us, right? So without further ado, this is CY. Right, let's get started with today's product. Right, as you can see in front of you, right, we have quite a few MHW-3BOMBER product on the table. Right, first of all, of course, is this funnel, right, for filtered coffee, right. It's shaped like a V60, so you can see this particular design is the grayish black version, right, and there's a coating, very reflective coating on the outside. The bottom is actually a plastic a holder, right? So this plastic holder can be detached if you want to wash it, and inside is not exactly the V60 design, so and it's the origami design, and I'm going to use a combination of the V60 style funnel with origami design inside and the cupcake filtered paper to make my filtered coffee today, right? And beside this is also of course from 3BOMBER. This is good for 3 to 4 person, right? So you can see the design is really nice. You can see the logo over there, right? This is the 3BOMBER, right? I don't understand why a lot of these company go by the weaponry. Like for example, the roaster is called Bullet. My own roaster is called the Sniper, and this particular company is called the 3BOMBER, right? So maybe I will ask my supplier to ask them about why, where did this name come from, and it'll be quite interesting, right? So this is again from, of course, the 3BOMBER, right? I'm not too sure my camera can focus on that. Yep, okay. And the second thing on the table is actually this walnut stand, right? This reminds me of the chemistry experiment I did back in the secondary school days, right? You can see that it almost looks like a retort stand, right? The base is a solid walnut, and it's pretty thick. Let me show you, right? This is the quality of the walnut, right? It's quite thick, right? It's almost 2 cm. I believe it's 2 cm thick, and it is cut in a slightly irregular shape, even though the entire thing is actually rectangle, squarish in the shape. And usually I'll leave this stand on my weighing scale, right, so that I can actually do my weighing later on. And you can see that this is the ring whereby you can actually lock it up, and you can actually adjust to the height that you want. And of course, this height can also be adjusted by this knob here, right? So let me put on a hands-free, and then I'll adjust the height to suit the server style. So again, this is another product from 3BOMBER. And this is another product from 3BOMBER, which is the coffee server. The volume of this jar is actually 500 ml, and it's actually good for coffee up to 3 to 4 person.
And this is another product, which is the right cup, and I believe this is the 280 ml right cup, which is very good for filter coffee. You can even make espresso and then you pour a latte, which is also possible. And I particularly like this color because it's a rainbow, and there's a really rainbow effect on the outer, so it looks really impressive. And yep, this is actually one of my favorite cup from MHW-3BOMBER. You can see the logo underneath as well as inside. Yeah, basically this glass is made of this glass contains no lead, 100% lead free, and hence it's definitely safe to use. And let me introduce another product from MHW-3BOMBER, which is the filter paper, right? And today I'm going to use the cupcake style filter paper. This filter paper size is actually 3 to 4%, and then each box of these contains 50 pieces of the cupcake style filter paper, and it comes packaged like that. There's actually a plastic wrapping outside. And for today's grinder, I'm going to use my NCG 500S, which is actually the look-alike of the McCormick EK43S.
Right, so the first thing we do is we're going to adjust the stand here so that it gives us a perfect height. So of course this has to be level, but before I adjust this also allows you to slide in and out, right? So let me adjust the how much I want to extend this to the outside. So I think this is perfect, so I'm gonna lock this up. Right, at the same time you can see that this thing actually slides up and down, so I can actually control my how high I want it to be. So let's fix it here, and of course you can see that this thing actually turns, right? Actually there's a screw underneath, right, underneath the base, right, which I can actually tighten, but I think I will allow it to swing slightly. So now you can see that I leave it on a stand on this weighing scale. Right, the weighing scale has to be slightly larger so that I can actually see the reading. So let me put on the server, right? So you can see the server sit nicely underneath the ring, and then my filtered funnel is actually on top, right? So this is how the entire setup looks like. Right, so let's switch on the power of the coffee scale. Right, before that I will be using another scale to dose about 25, okay, I'll dose 20 grams of coffee. So my ratio will be 1:15, and don't forget I have to adjust my grinder, right, to about 13.5, right? So that's typically the grind setting I like on this Chinese made similar to the EK43S from McCormick, but this is not of course not manufactured in Germany. This is manufactured by the company called Perfex. Let me show you this, right? Of course this is the grinder, 98mm flat burr, right? Really a beast. Right, so let's take out the filter paper. Right, of course this when this is shipped to you, there's a plastic wrapping to sort of contain the filter paper, but I find it always have to take out the filter paper from the plastic packaging, so I just leave it there. Anyway, it's enclosed, so I think should be fine. Right, so this is the, okay, sorry, my Monet is down there and it's actually shaking my retort stand, my tripod stand, sorry. I'm almost going to this is actually not a chemistry experiment. I keep repeating myself on the retort stand. Right, so this is how the setup is, right? And I'm going to tear this, and of course I'm going to rinse and heat up the entire glassware. So I'll give you a thorough rinse. Right, and this water, right, I'll be using it to warm up my cup. Right, so let's tear this again so that I'll know how much coffee I actually dose on top. So now let's grind some coffee, and then let's start to make a delicious cup of filtered coffee. Right, so again, of course, today, this is the coffee we are using today. Right, it's our Yunnan Red Wine. Dosing cup from 3BOMBER, right. This is pretty good. It fits on the DF64 nicely, so let me show you. Right, so we have designed a different adapter, so you can actually rest this on top. Right, so it fits all the 50mm, almost all the 50mm dosing cup. Right, but today we're not going to use DF64, we're just going to use the NCG 500. Right, so let me show you the grinder. Okay, my table space was a bit limited, so I'm going to shift this over here. Right, and I'll bring it over to see the grinding. Right, so let's measure about 20 grams. Right, 20 grams exactly. Right, so let's see how much retention we have it on the NCG 500. Right, not too sure whether you can see the grind. Okay, but I'm just going to transfer it over to our filter paper. Right, so we have those exactly 20 grams. Right, so I guess I have some, probably I didn't clean up I should have cleaned out my grinder before I dose it. So you can see that there's actually some coffee ground that is actually from the previous grind. Right, I think the grind, I'm pretty happy with the grind size. It's very uniform. Right, so it's about 20.3 grams. Let's heat up my water again to 96 degrees Celsius, and let's tare this. So I really like this setup with a walnut base. The walnut really gives me a really good texture, and yeah, it just gives a more warmer color onto probably a plastic or metal surfaces. Right, so the water temperature is ready. So let's start the timer. Okay, normally I'll do a 50 grams of bloom, and then I will just gently swirl it. Wait for about 30 seconds. Right, and this time I will let it bloom for about 45 seconds. Slightly longer bloom time. And then I will do a 3-stage of equal pour of 100 ml. Usually I'll go from the center to the surrounding. And I'll control my the speed of the at which the water is coming out from my kettle, so that you will not create a turbulence in the coffee bed as well as the coffee mixture with water. Yep, so that's the first pour. You can see that the flow speed is actually pretty quick, and I particularly like the cupcake kind of filter paper because it is a flat bottom filter paper, unlike the V60. So it actually, I believe it actually creates a better and more even extraction, because the V60 tend to have cone at the bottom, so the depth actually varies. Right, so let's pour the second one. Yep, so we are aiming to achieve the entire drawn down to about 3 minutes. Okay, this time I will top up the water to 100, another 100 ml to 350. Actually, 300 will do, right? So the last one I will, because of 1:15 ratio for 20 grams should be about 300 ml of water. Right, so I slightly overdose with the ratio. So last stage I will do a little bit of swirl. Right, so the entire process finished in about 3.5 minutes. Yes, and if you look at the coffee bed, it's not too bad. There's not really muddiness, so it's pretty good. And usually I'll just transfer this to another holder. At the moment I'm using my tamping station, right? It's a temporary holding place for the filter funnel, right? So let you see what I mean by that. So you can see I'm putting it here, right? And now we can actually serve coffee. Right, of course, usually 20 grams is for 2 person, but this is fine. I can just store the remaining in the fridge and become iced coffee. Right, so cheers. It's very enjoyable because this is a natural processed coffee, so you can taste the fruitiness, the tropical fruit, and the winey taste of the coffee. There's a hint of bitterness, just a slight hint. I think it's because when I grind coffee, I did not push out all the remaining coffee that I make with the NCG 500 when I make espresso just now. So I could have bailed out the fine, right? Yeah, but overall, this is a very enjoyable cup. It's really nice, sweet. I would say the brightness is quite well balanced. It's not very high, but the sweetness is there. So I'm pleasantly surprised by the stopper that comes with the NCG 500S. I'm going to test it more, right, to see how it compares with my other grinders in terms of filtered coffee as well as espresso. Right, so this is CY once again. I hope you have enjoyed today's session of me introducing a few products from 3BOMBER. Right, do look out for their product because I think their product is worth you looking into them because the price is not exactly very high, unlike some other product you see available online. Right, so let me know in the comment section down below what do you think about the filter coffee setup from MHW-3BOMBER, and then don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like my videos, right, and ring the bell if you don't want to miss out any more content that we upload. So I'll see you very soon, and this is CY once again, and stay safe. I'll see you very soon.